That ejection pattern is filthy.
In the early days, Taurus was primarily known for making Beretta 92 clones using old Beretta tooling and making Smith & Wesson revolver clones using old Smith & Wesson tooling. Nowadays, they're mostly known for making budget pistols and for aggressively iterating new designs multiple times per year. But there was a brief window of time in the 90s when Taurus tried to go a little bit more upscale with the PT 900 series pistols. This is the PT 908. It was the first in the 900 series of pistols and was released in the early 90s. At a glance and from a distance, this kind of looks like a compact version of the PT 92, but it's actually mechanically very distinct from the Beretta-derived pistols that Taurus had started making. This gun actually uses a standard Browning-style cam-path short recoil system and SIG-style barrel hood lockup. So aside from the double-action, single-action trigger lock work, it has almost nothing in common with the PT 92 series. The 908 is chambered in 9mm and is a single stack holding 8 rounds. Later on in the series was the PT 909 and the 911. Both of those were double stack 9mm. There was also the double stack 940 in 40 Smith & Wesson. All of these guns were available in either a blued or a stainless finish, and a lot of them were available with gold accents and rosewood grips because Taurus was kind of doing that pimp thing in the 90s. Luckily, they've grown up out of that phase. The Taurus 900 series is an interesting fusion of design elements from other handguns. Standard Browning short recoil instead of the Beretta 92's falling block, and SIG 220 style barrel hood lockup to go along with it. The only features inherited from the Beretta 92 are the general shape and the takedown mechanism. Push the takedown button from the right side of the frame, rotate the lever on the left side of the frame, and the slide pops off. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. The double-action, single-action lock work and frame-mounted safety decocker are from the PT92 series. Push up for safe, push down for fire, push down past the safe position to decock the pistol. The PT92 and its derivatives can be carried cocked and locked, unlike a Beretta 92. One side effect of the frame safety is that you can't retract the slide with the safety engaged, so you gain the ability to carry cocked and locked, but you lose the ability to manipulate the slide while the safety is on. I don't care about either of those features, so it's not a big deal to me. The previous owners of this PT 908 must have shot the piss out of it. It's one of the smoothest handling guns I've ever felt. Racking the slide is like the proverbial oiled glass. However, the extractor is worn to the point where the pistol is on the knife's edge of reliability. When it gets dirty, I don't think the extractor can get a good grip on the case, and that leads to a lot of failures to extract. My gun also came with 2 8-round magazines, but the base plate on one of them was cracked and falling apart. I replaced it with a Pierce pinky extension base plate for a different pistol, shaved down to fit. Ugly, but workable. There are no surprises to be found shooting the 908. The trigger is everything you expect from a Beretta 92, smooth double action and sloppy single action. Recoil is minimal with 9mm in a gun this size. I don't find it that easy to shoot because the gun is a little bit on the small side, and like a Beretta 92, it has a lot of garbage sticking off the sides of the frame. If I put my support hand thumb too far forward, it pushes into the takedown lever, which can be a little bit pinchy under recoil. If I put it a little farther back, I have to be careful not to apply too much pressure to the side of the gun, or it prevents the slide release lever from locking open on empty. Shooting a gun adjacent to a Beretta 92 design just feels wrong to me. It's like shooting a revolver. I just don't know what to do with my hands. The 908 is the odd man out in the 900 series. It's kind of small and kind of light, but for only 8 rounds of 9mm, it is big even by the standards of the early 90s. This thing is way bigger than my Firestar at only +1 round of 9mm. The rest of the series makes more sense. The double stack compact 911 and 940 do a better job of earning their size. The 909 is almost a suitable rival for a PT92, 17 rounds plus an accessory rail in a smaller, lighter package. It's a shame they don't still make it, honestly. The 945 is the most interesting in the series and probably the most sought after to this day. As an 8-round single-stack 45, it stands among the SIG 220 and the Smith & Wesson 645 or 4506 as modernized alternatives to the 1911. It's also the nickel-plated sissy pistol that Tommy Lee Jones makes fun of in U.S. Marshals. Oh well. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty confident the 900 series pistols were not cheap guns in their heyday. They don't seem to be made cheaply, and if the old advertisements I can find are accurate, they were priced way above what most people would consider paying for a Taurus today. This 908 is listed at an MSRP of $470 in 1994, which adjusted for inflation is over $800. It probably didn't usually sell for exactly MSRP, but you get the idea. These were nice pistols, not price point guns. 30 years later, Taurus has been through a whole arc of challenges and redemption. It's hard to think of them selling an $800 pistol during their shaky mid-2010s era or their current cheap and cheerful phase, but that's just the way things go. Who knows? In another 10 years, we might see the same story play out again. Thanks for watching.
Good Lord.